Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Phantom's Yu-Gi-Oh! And today I wanted to put out a quick deck profile before I headed out to the gym. And I wanted to do a GOAT format deck profile today because anything modern we put out could be changing by a, theoretical ban list any day now. So I figured I'd wait on that before I put out anything new for the modern format. So let's check out this GOAT format deck profile today. And this is one of my favorite decks that I actually have built and play pretty frequently, and this is Water. And Water back in Go format, is not very popular, and it's not one of the top three, which is Go Control, Chaos, and Zoo or Beatdown. But I've built this to be competitive with those decks, and it is. And I want you to give it a try. It's based around Levia Dragon Daedalus, which is released back in Invasion of Chaos, which is one of my favorite boss monsters in the game. So it actually cranks it out pretty well. Let me know what you guys think. Check out the deck profile coming up. Leave a comment. And let me know what you guys think about just doing GOAT format deck profiles in general. Is that something you guys like? Because I do have several ideas built and tested competitively. So, yeah, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe for me. And let's check out that deck profile right here. Alright guys, let's talk about the Water GOAT format deck that I put together based around Levia Dragon Daedalus. It's a ton of fun. It's pretty close to how you play Standard. It's kind of a combination of Standard and Beatdown. And I'll just talk through what the idea of the deck is, how you want to play it, and what kind of approach you want to take to playing the game. So let's go ahead and start with the main deck here. And I'll just go through all of the water monsters here. We're playing 2 Levia Dragon Daedalus. This card, when it's summoned, you can send a Umi or a legendary ocean from the field to the grave to destroy all other cards in the field. So we are playing a legendary ocean in this build, so that's why we're playing Daedalus, and I have some extra ways to get this out, so we'll give that a go. Next we're playing 1 Mobius the Frost Monarch. It's a level 6 monster, so it costs 1 tribute, and when it's summoned you can destroy up to 2 spell and trap cards in the field, which is pretty strong in this format. Just forcing out back row, a lot of power back row in this format. So Mobius is pretty strong, and we have some special summons and floaters to make sure we always have tribute fodder. So it's pretty good in this deck. And speaking of floaters, we have Mother Grizzly. We're playing 3 of them, and pretty much this is our way to make sure we get into Sinister Serpent as soon as possible. Sinister fuels a lot of our plays, as you'll see in the cards coming up. So we want to let Mother Grizzly get attacked into. We want to summon Serpent off of it. That way we have access to it as soon as possible. And also, like I mentioned, these are both 1 tribute monsters. Mobius is naturally, and Daedalus is when we have a legendary ocean. It reduces its level to 6, so it's just costs 1 tribute. So having something that floats like Mother Grizzly is really strong for the strategy. And speaking of more tribute fodder, we're playing 2 Aqua Spirit, which is a monster that lets you banish a water monster to special summon it from your hand. So special summons are kind of rare in this format, and it's really easy to get a water monster in the grave based on how much we're playing. So Aqua Spirit's really strong just to have tribute fodder, just to put extra pressure on the board. And then we have the MVP of the deck, which is a Abyss Soldier. Abyss Soldier, for those that don't know, lets you discard a water monster to target a card on the field and return it to the owner's hand. So pretty much this puts tempo in your favor big time. It lets you bounce set monsters of your opponents, and that pretty much sets them back a turn. It's 1800 attack, 1300 defense, so it doesn't lose to Tsukiyomi, and it beats over most of the 1600, or a lot of the monsters in the format are 1600 attack, so it beats over all of those. So it's just really powerful, but that makes it especially important that you get Sinister Serpent to your hand to keep that advantage for yourself. But also it lets you use your dead Levia Dragons or Mobius or anything else, because we have a lot of water monsters, and this can discard any of them to get its effect. The next card we're playing is Yomi Ship. Yomi Ship is something we can summon off Mother Grizzly, and what this card does is when it's destroyed by battle, it destroys the opponent's attacking monster. or you can crash it as well. Yeah, so it's just something to float into. It helps break boards. It helps kind of just clear your opponent's fields so that you can put pressure on next turn. You can set it to bait out Nobleman pretty easily. It's 1400 defense, so it's got a little bit of protection to it. Next we're playing Tribe. It's a water monster. It gets value off Serpent. No reason not to play it. It's just a really good card in the format, but especially a really good card in this deck. And then here's the Serpent, the MVP. This is the card we need to get to as many games as possible. That's why we're running Mother Grizzly to get to it. That's why we're running Sangan, just to get to that Sinister Serpent, because we have so many cards that rely on the Serpent discard. And the last two monsters I'm playing is one Breaker and one Magician of Faith. These are kind of just tech cards. I think they're really strong. I don't like playing... I'm hesitant to play just the one flip monster because obviously it's going to eat the Nobleman of Crossout that's dead in your opponent's hand, but there's other ways to bait that. You can set Mother Grizzlies after you already have Serpent. You can set Yomi ships, and the Noblemans will get eaten. So nobody will be expecting the flip Magician of Faith. Just gets you back your power cards and that. But if you have something else you want to play, Magician of Faith is probably what you're going to cut. And I'll talk about something that I was playing instead of the Faith, but I'm just giving this a go for now. But this is definitely the most flexible card in the main deck. So that's it for the monsters. I believe that was 17. Onto the spells. Fairly standard to start. We just have all the power spells. We have the Trinity here, Pot of Greed, Charity, and Duo. Then we have the other 4 limited cards, playing all of them. Snatch, Premature, MST, and Heavy Storm. And then the 2 Noblemen of Crossout. These 9 spells are pretty staple to most decks in GOAT format, so they're the strongest cards. Nothing needs to be said about it. We are playing 2 Meta and 2 Scapegoat. Meta is good because we're always going to have Serpent, so it's just a way to go into Thousand Eyes. Scapegoat is good because we're playing meta and we're playing Monster Gate. Monster Gate is how we want to be getting into Levia Dragon. And really, if you look at our monster lineup, there's nothing we don't really want to land on, to be honest. Even if we land on something like Sinister Serpent, we're still going to be okay because we just get access to it that much sooner. Breaker is not great. Magician of Faith, obviously not great. But besides that, all of the water monsters, they're all, good to hit. So Monster Gate is really strong. We contribute off the GOAT tokens. We contribute off the Serpent if we have one already. And that's about it. And it just lets us put more pressure. This is an aggro deck. We're trying to put a lot of pressure on the board ASAP. So special summons in this deck are good. And then the last 3 cards, I already talked about them. We're playing 2 Legendary Ocean and 1 Terraforming. Legendary Ocean just boosts everything by 200, which is, 200 is not a lot, but it is significant in Go format. When all of your 1600 monsters are now 1800, it lets you survive, most of the cards. It also boosts defense. So all of your 1000 defense monsters become 1200. You don't lose to Tsukiyomi anymore. So people overlook that. It puts a lot of pressure on. It makes your Mother Grizzly up to 1600, which lets you crash with a lot of common cards and then lets you still float after you crash your Mother Grizzly. So that's really good. And what we pretty much want to be doing to resolve Levia Dragon here is activating Legendary Ocean, activating Monster Gate, hoping to hit Levia Dragon, and on summon off of Monster Gate we can send Legendary Ocean to nuke the board. So that's pretty much the dream combo, and that's why we're playing it. And that's it for the spells. I think it's something like 18 spells. And then the traps, there's only 5 slots left. We're playing just the 4 big ones: TT, Ring, Call, and Mirror Force, and then the last slot I'm using for Dust Tornado. I think I took out a second Dust Tornado for that Magician of Faith, so if you're not feeling the Magician of Faith, I would put in another Dust Tornado. and go with that. The reason I'm not playing Sakuretsu armor is because if we take a look at our monster lineup, there's nothing we really want to stop our opponent from attacking. We have Yomi ship, defends itself. We have Mother Grizzly, it floats. And then everything else is just big. It's all like 1800 monsters, it's our tribute monsters, it's Sengen. Like, there's nothing we really want to stop our opponent from attacking, so I'd rather deal with the back row, deal with Snatch Steal, with Premature Burial, with more back row removal than have any Sakuretsus, because we're going to be able to deal with their monsters by just battle and by metamorphosis and stuff like that. So Dust Tornado is definitely the way to go over Sakuretsu in this more aggro style deck. Alright, and that's about it for the deck. Something I just wanted to touch on really quick for the extra deck. You know, I'm not going to go ahead and show you a GOAT extra deck because you can play literally any card, but I do want to point out the fact that Legendary Ocean reduces the level of water monsters on the field by 1. So whether or not you have Ocean on the field affects what you can go into with meta. So if you have, for example, Mobius is level 6 without Ocean on the field and level 5 with it. So you do have options. Levia Dragon is level 7 without, level 6 with. So you can be flexible in what you go into with Metamorphosis while you have Legendary Ocean on the field. So I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind when you're playing this deck. And I want to know what you guys think about this build. So post a comment in the comment section below. What Go format decks do you like that are not standard? For example, this one is probably my favorite because I get to play this card and I love this card. So why not? And this deck is actually, you know, decently competitive. It matches up pretty well with a standard Go build. So. Alright guys, here's a list really quick so you can just see it up on the screen. And again, let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.